Hello and welcome to part 1 of section 7, testing the Laravel application. In this video, we will cover about unit testing the already created Laravel application and understand what is unit test. So unit test is nothing but testing the smallest part of your application in isolation. Usually the smallest part in any application is a method. Laravel provides unit testing out of the box. So it already includes the PHP unit testing framework, and it also has a configuration file phpunit.xml. There are test directories feature and unit. Unit folder basically focuses on small portions of the code that you want to test, and the feature provides a larger portion of the code, maybe a full HTTP request that you want to test. It by default provides you with example test.php in both of these folders, which contains a basic test case. We also have a test case.php, which is a bootstrap file. So if you would notice, under database folder, under test folder, we have feature and unit folders. Test case.php, which bootstraps the testing application. Feature and unit has two test cases that's available. We also have phpunit.xml, which provides the basic configuration of the test suites available within the test folder. To create and run test, we can create a test class by again using the artisan command php artisan make test. To create under a specific directory, you can use this command. Once the test has been generated, you write the test methods and run either using php unit command or the full path vendor bin php unit. And if you want to run a specific test suite, you can also specify that as well. Now, in our case, we are going to test the post class that we created. So we have this post.php and post : all method. If you remember, that method helps you to get all the posts in the database. So let's go ahead and write the test case for the post all. Definitely you would require a testing database, testing data to be tested against. Laravel also provides with many PHP unit assertions like for true, false, equals, null, contains, count, empty. For unit testing our post class, Laravel ships in with a factory folder. So if you go in the database and you open the factories user factory.php. These are just model factories available, which basically helps seeding your application's database. So we would want dummy data to work upon. It already has the code for user. Let's go ahead and create the code for the post. So we'll just have the similar code for the post as well, where we say user for user ID, generate a dynamic user and assign the ID generated dynamically to my post user ID. I will be having fake sentence for the title as well as for the content. Once you have created the model factory for your post, we can create a test case. So open the test folder, unit, example test.php. You can see it already has a basic test case. I will create my own test case and I'll say public function test if posts exist. To be able to create post, we have a factory function available. So I'll say $first is equals to, and I'll write the factory functions to create the posts. So we just have few data. So you can see I have the first post, I have the second post. I again use the post : all. For that, I will be saying use app / post class. Right? When I do that, I'm able to refer the post class. When I say all, these factory methods help to create two posts. I say post all and I'm asserting that the count of the posts in the $post array should be 2. Now to be able to run this, we need a testing database and not a real database. So in our php unit.xml, so you can see in .env, we already have for db database. We'll go ahead in php unit.xml, I'll override the db database and I'll say db _ database and override the value with Laravel db _ testing. right? So we have in the .env folder db underscore database, that is the production database, and here we configure the testing database. In my MySQL, I've already created a Laravel DB testing database and the tables migrated from the Laravel application. Now let's go ahead and run it. So I'll say unit. I want to run the test under test folder, unit slash example test.php. So you can see I run the command example test.php. Now in my class there are two tests. I run two tests and there are two assertions to be tested, and this is how I can write unit test cases for testing the Laravel application. We have done the test database and run the test.